Hey, I'm Cassandra Potenza. I played Janet in Clown in a Cornfield, and you were watching Pop Culture with Pat.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Hey guys, welcome back to Pop Culture with Pat. So excited to be joined by today's guests. Today I'm talking to Cassandra Potenza, who plays Janet in Clown in a Cornfield. Cassandra, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much for having me.
You are very welcome. I'm so excited to talk to you about this. I got a chance to, I read the book when it came out, so super excited to see the film. But I wanted to start things off for you just asking, what was your relationship with the horror genre prior to working on Clown in a Cornfield?
Well, honestly, growing up, I didn't watch any horror because I was not in a horror film family. I couldn't be more different from my parents in that sense. But the second I was of age, and especially when I moved out, I started binging horror films. And I am such a big fan. I love the thrill of them, the suspense, feeling like I'm on a roller coaster when I'm watching a movie. So I love that's probably my favorite genre to watch, if I'm being honest.
Oh, that's cool. So do you, I guess like just like top of your head, do you have any like favorites that come to your mind?
Yeah, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the OG one, I
Okay.
think is brilliant. Um, The Others with Nicole Kidman is also
That's a
one of
good
my
one.
favorites. Yeah, kind of. I do. I go back and forth between slasher or paranormal.
Yeah.
So and that's what's great about horrors. There's so many subgenres to it. So yeah, there's always
Yeah.
something new.
Yeah, I love it. And I mean the twist and the others too. First time seeing that did not see that coming. So, but yeah, there's so much that you can do with the genre, but I love especially the past like couple years that we've been getting this resurgence in the slasher genre. So, being that one of your favorite genres, I'm sure you must have been pumped to get to work on this film.
So pumped. And it's so exciting. There's so much horror coming out that has been coming out. Yeah, horror fans are happy. They're
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah, I mean, just recently with like Sinners, with that releasing and like the numbers that that's been doing at the box office, I've seen people talking about this film who've already seen it, just saying how possibly a new horror icon and how this could turn into a franchise. Because I know there's three books, and I believe Adam announced that he's like working on a fourth one as well. So this could be the
Yeah,
next horror franchise.
I would love to see that. That would be
Yeah.
amazing.
And so you play Janet in the film. How did you want to stay true to the character that was in the book, also in the script, but also make her your own when portraying the character as well?
Yeah, it's always tricky to kind of not compete, but in a way when, so many people have developed the character when they've read the book and they've developed the character in their mind. And I read the book and she had such specificity, but it is so important to take that influence, but also find a way to make it my own. So yeah, it was a huge influence, of course, but I actually read the book after the audition. So I like to think that I did come in with my own take on the character, and then the book just helped me specify a bit about her life and her background. So.
Yeah. No, that's cool. I was actually going to ask you if you had read it prior to, or if it was something like once you got the role, if you did it afterwards. So now, have you only read the first one? Have you read any of the other books so far?
I've just read the first one, but I'm going to read all of them.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. No, I gotta check out two and three. I haven't got a chance to read them yet, but I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to it. I've heard good things. So,
Yeah, and it was actually my first horror novel to read.
oh
And
wow,
yeah, I've never read horror before, and it's so cool. Like the places your brain takes you, when especially Adam's writing is so phenomenal. It's so vivid. And some of those images I had in my mind are like still stuck in there.
yeah.
It's a great read.
Sometimes the stuff that your brain can come up with from reading something. I mean, films are great, but sometimes the stuff that you read, you can almost make it scarier in your mind because you don't have like a visual necessarily to go with it.
Totally. It's like your imagination goes wild.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I say I've definitely gotten myself in trouble with reading, especially when I was younger, reading some of the books that I probably shouldn't have when I was kind of like I was still a kid. Like I think my first horror book was well, technically like was like Stephen King like Salem Lot. I read that when I was pretty young, but then like scary stories to tell in the dark when I was like a kid in elementary school. And I look back on those and I'm like, I don't understand how some of those were allowed to be in kids' libraries like when we were so young.
Yeah, totally.
But
I think we think it's a book, so we don't like think it's the same visual, but no, like we have imaginations.
yeah, but it also, I mean, it shaped me to be the horror fan that I am today. So now, you being a horror fan, what was your relationship with clowns coming into this movie?
I've been asked this question a few times, and I had clowns at my birthday parties when I was
Okay.
a kid. I had kind of like a clownish type theme in my room. I remember when I was like really, really young. So you would think I would have trauma.
Yeah,
But no, all my
pretty good.
experiences with clowns have been positive up until the filming of this movie.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure maybe it changed a little bit once you got to, face off against Frendo in this movie.
Yeah, and then I was like, okay, this clown's a little off.
Look at them a little bit differently. Yeah. Have
Yeah.
you seen like any like It or have you seen like any other Terrifier movies or anything?
I saw it. I did dabble with the Terrifier, but yeah, it was
Yeah.
a lot.
Terrifier is definitely like I feel like a kind of a next level, especially like gore wise. So it's a little bit different.
Oh,
I feel like Pennywise is like a little bit more like the psychological, messing with you and stuff like that. And Art's just, yeah, brutal.
yeah.
Can you talk about developing the dynamic and the relationship between this group of friends in this cast in this film? Seems like you guys had a great time working on the movie.
We did. It was so easy to build a bond with everyone. We all have talked about this, but there was just something so special amongst this cast. We clicked so quickly, and everyone is so awesome and genuine. And yeah, lifelong friendships have been made from this film. So we
That's
we
awesome.
got super lucky, and we had so much fun. And I couldn't think of a better group of people to be staying up until the sun comes up doing night shoots with, because we had so much fun, and everyone is incredible, including our director, Adam, the Winnipeg film crews, shout out to them. Incredible people overall.
I mean, it definitely takes a village to put a film together. It's like I don't think sometimes you don't realize it until you maybe been on a set or been just around where they've been filming. I've gotten to work on a couple films as an extra myself, and even prior to that, I don't think I really appreciated it until I actually got on the set and you see how long it takes to film just a tiny little scene, how many people are involved with each scene. So yeah, it's definitely a lot.
Yeah, no, it definitely takes a village, and everyone has such a crucial component that goes into it. So, yeah, a lot of people don't realize that, but truly it's all teamwork.
Yep. And do you have like, again, just like kind of top of your head, is there any moments, whether it was like filming or, actually working on the film or even you guys kind of hanging out and bonding that kind of comes to your mind from working with this cast and hanging out with them?
Yeah, I do remember one night specifically. We were in the probably near the end of a night shoot, and I started singing Disney songs.
There you go.
And everyone just fell asleep. And it was just like, I don't know, it was such a peaceful moment. And yeah, we had that comfortability with each other where, we could just all fall asleep.
Which is probably much needed after, some of the night shoots and just all the chaos that was going on in the film.
Yeah, yeah. And then it's like you wake up and you're right back and you have to go scream. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, there were so many moments. We hung out a lot.
Yeah, and I was talking to Io, and he was mentioning you guys that it was filmed around Halloween, so you guys went to like a haunted house, like it sounded like as well.
That was really fun. And yeah, it was perfect timing to be filming a horror film.
Yeah,
So
you can't ask for a better time. Although I feel like it must have been a little chilly for you guys, I'm sure, around Halloween time and being up there shooting it.
yeah, yeah. So I don't think I'm from Winnipeg, so I kind of foreseen that we could possibly be getting snow in October,
Yeah,
and we did. So
of course, and naturally.
yeah,
Now,
yeah.
what was your reaction to finally seeing Frendo the Clown for the first time?
Um, you know, honestly, I thought he was very, very creepy, but I also knew who was inside him. And I
That
was
helps.
like, he's so nice and so lovely. So that helped a lot with me not, running away. But yeah, it's definitely seeing Frendo for the first time is off-putting. So I'm glad I knew the kind stunt man who was inside.
Yeah, and I feel like that happens a lot. Well, I mean, yeah, a lot of times that I've talked to cast members for different shows or films where you have this killer, and then you find out that the person playing that, this mass killer underneath is just one of the nicest people that you could ever meet. And so, like, I was talking to someone from Terrifier, and they were saying how David Howard Thornton, who plays Art the Clown, and him just sitting there like eating when they were taking a break, and him still being in the makeup and stuff like that. It's like that just must be such a weird moment to go from filming something so terrifying to then having a conversation with this person who's the nicest, person that can be.
Exactly, exactly. Like he takes off the mask and then is just sipping coffee and you're just having a conversation.
Yeah,
So
you're like, this
yeah,
is
I
this is
wish I
very
could
strange.
say I was horrified. But no, it was mostly acting.
Now, out of the cast, who, if you guys were in a real life situation, who has the best survival skills in the group, and who do you think would be the final girl or final guy in the group?
It would be Katie.
It would be Katie. Okay.
Yeah, it would be Katie. She may be small, but she is so mighty. Watching her on set, like she is so committed and fearless. And there was one point where she did a kick and like landed on her back and got right back up. And I was like, that's that's our final
That's
girl
our
for a
final girl.
reason. Yeah.
Yeah, and was there any moments in the film where you guys, I know we were talking about like with the mask, you knew who was underneath the mask, but was there any moments throughout filming that maybe you were a little creeped out? Because I know for me, like this film, the book, it kind of reminded me of back in 2016 where we had the clown sightings in the United States, and I believe there was some in Canada as well. So even though you guys know that it's fake, was there some moments where you were still kind of a little creeped out?
Yes, yes. Well, we actually did film in a cornfield slash a giant field. So you would just look and it would just keep going and going. And that feeling in itself is very eerie.
You don't
Um,
know what's out there.
yeah, yeah. So I wouldn't have wanted to be alone out there. But yeah, there was a death scene in particular. I won't talk too much about it, but I was watching it on the monitor and it made me very queasy and I had to look away.
All right,
So
so
they're great. They're great.
yeah, which I have heard that, and so for anybody that the gore hounds out there who love that kind of stuff, sounds like those guys are definitely in for a treat. And one of the particular scenes that because it's the book and in the movie, the parade scene. Can you just because that's like I feel like one of the biggest set pieces. Because so can you just talk about being on set and kind of working on that day?
Oh, that was such a vivid day. That was an amazing day. It was so cool to see the giant Frendo float.
Yeah.
That was awesome. And it was the first day that, oh yeah, Adam was on set that day. So we got to meet Adam that day and got to meet Kevin Durand, who was also on set that day. That was so cool. It was so cool to have like the energy of all the background performers as well.
Yep.
Um, yeah, and I think that was the day that I really was like, this is happening. It's here. We're doing this. Yeah, great day.
Yeah, that Frendo Clown float because I got the latest issue of Fangoria the has a feature on Clown on the Court. Actually, there's like several things on Clown on the Cornfield in there, and yeah, imagine I can't must have taken so long to put that thing together, float and everything like that.
Yeah, just amazing. And we also had the juggler on the unicycle
Oh, yeah.
and that he was so cool. He was so cool. He was just doing tricks after they would call cut and it was just so fascinating. We were in awe the whole
And there's
time.
a lot going on in that scene too. So I imagine that must have been, were you guys able to get that filmed like all in one day? Did you film it over a couple days or?
Yeah, that was in one day. And if I can remember, I think it started raining. So we
Uh,
did have to take a pause and like go into coffee shop, I think, for a bit. But yeah, no, it was one day.
Now, and you being a big horror fan too, I wanted to ask you as far as working on a slasher, on a horror film, can you just talk a little bit about, without going into any spoilers, just your experience of getting to work with different the prosthetics, the blood, guts, and all that kind of fun stuff.
It was so cool. As a horror fan, it had been on my bucket list to be in a like a real slasher film. And to be able to do that was such a dream come true. And I've always had respect for the horror genre, but when you see it front and center how it gets filmed, it's hard work.
Yeah.
It's very physically demanding, very emotionally demanding, but such rewarding work. And it was just such a treat to be able to go to those heightened places. Um, and also, yeah, to see all of the, I think, have the smell of corn syrup blood lodged into my nose. Lots of blood, but also a lot of times you just get one take for certain things, certain
Yeah.
like blood splatters. So yeah, it's heightened work, but so cool.
How hard was it to get, well, I know you said you still have like the smell of it, but how hard was it to get some of that like blood and stuff, out of clothes, hair, or anything like that?
It washed off so easily.
Oh, well, that's good.
I don't know so much about the clothes. I know we had multiple
Outfits.
outfits. But yeah, it actually washed off quite easily. But that was also a horse scene in itself, going to take a shower in the trailer and seeing the blood go down the drain. And then one day there was a spider in the corner of the shower, and I
Oh
was
no.
like, I'm in my own horror film right now.
You're like, it's one thing to be filming a horror film, but I got a spider in my trailer right now. Like, I can't deal with this.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Now, just to wrap things up for you, Cassandra, is there anything else that you would like to say just about the experience of working on the film, what fans can kind of expect going into this, maybe if they're not familiar with the novel, and just where can they stay up to date with you moving forward?
Yeah, I want to stress that I think everyone's going to have so much fun watching this film. Eli, our director, he has such an incredible, unique sense of humor that he brings to this film. So I love that we have the comedic element, which really provides that, nice release in those high tension moments.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, it's a film full of unexpected twists and turns. So it's going to be a wild ride.
I can't wait. And do you have like Instagram, social media where fans can follow you for moving forward with your career?
Yeah, sure. You can follow me at my name, Cassandra Potenza, on Instagram. That's pretty much the only place I'm somewhat active.
Perfect. Well, hey, Cassandra, thank you so much again for your time today. It was wonderful again to talk to you about the film. Can't wait to check it out, and you're welcome back anytime in the future.
Great. Thank you so much for having me. Hey, I'm Cassandra Potenza. I played Janet in Clown in a Cornfield, and you were watching Pop Culture with Pat.